Hi, I'm Courtney Eckerly here at Marketing Sherpa Summit 2016 in Las Vegas, and with me is Richard Delahaye, who's the Senior Director of Marketing at Intronis, and Aaron Dunn, who's the former CMO. Welcome.
Hi, nice to see you.
Yeah, good to be here.
So in your session today, you talked about a direct mail piece that you had done that was pretty unique. So tell me a little bit about the thinking behind it.
So we have a pretty small market at Intronis. It's managed service providers, mainly in North America, although we're expanding internationally now. And the problem that we were having was that even though we knew who our best prospects were, the salespeople just weren't being able to get any conversations going with them. They were sending emails, they were making phone calls, but no conversations. So our CEO challenged us. He said, "You guys need to do a direct mail campaign." What? We said, and he told us about a campaign he'd done, which was a while ago, which was a big box of jelly beans sent to an office where far too many jelly beans for one person to eat. So what does that person do? They then walk out into the office, they put the jelly beans down, and then everybody in the office gets to try the jelly beans. So when the salesperson calls, they're like, "Oh yeah, you're the guys that sent us the jelly beans. Okay, who do you want to talk to?" The other thing he said was he wanted us to think big. So he said, "Well, can we give away a car with every purchase?" Which is another crazy idea. But what it meant was we realized that we could actually spend some money on this campaign. So I went online, and because we sell to IT service providers, we looked for a tech gadget, and I landed on possibly the oldest, but maybe the greatest tech gadget of all time, which is you can now get an Atari games console for about $30. So that became the core piece of the campaign.
So what would this campaign look like to me if I'm one of your customers?
So you get a box, and it's a plain white box with a FedEx label on it. And on it, I think we put a landing page URL on a sticker on there. I think you can tell it's from Intronis, and then you open it up, and there's a box inside wrapped in tissue paper, and then there's a letter attached to the box, and you can extend the letter, but the part of the letter that you can see says, "Dear Courtney, open up for some office fun, courtesy of Intronis." And then the next line says, "Unfortunately, not all old technology is this retro cool. You need to upgrade your cloud storage offering." And so that they can see through the sellotape, or they can see through the tissue paper exactly what it is. So we kind of build that excitement through that line.
So what were some of the results that you saw from this campaign?
Yeah, it's actually been a really remarkable campaign that's been running for almost a year and a half now, almost 2 years now, actually, I should say. And when we started off, in the very early days, we thought, okay, well, direct mail, let's test this out. We ran very small tests, but even from the very beginning, we were seeing really high conversion rates. Like 50% of the people in the very early ways would take the calls to action. And we discovered that our target market, these managed service providers, were mostly men between the ages of 30 and 50. And this Atari console really resonated with them. And myself, I can remember playing at my neighbor's house as a kid, playing this Atari console, and that sort of tapping into that resonance was really, that emotional connection with the game really drove, we think, the results of the campaign. But over time, so we're still trending at about a 35% conversion rate and a 650% ROI. Which is incredible. We could never have hoped for that until we started doing it. But it's also, most importantly, it's really cost efficient for us. When we look at our metrics in terms of how much we can spend per dollar of new bookings for our business, it is like 30% of our target. It's really cost efficient and cost effective, which allows us to keep doing it and testing new ways. And I think we said we're up to 1,500 Ataris that we've sent.
1,500, yeah.
And it really continues to perform really well.
Wow. So, are there any sort of anecdotal stories that you have about the success of this campaign from your customers?
Oh yeah, we've had some, when we first started launching it, I remember very vividly, we had one of our customers, partners, who was a prospect. He wasn't actually a customer yet. he emailed us and said, I need to talk to your head of marketing and your marketing team because that's really cool. We need to do that as well. I was at a conference actually sometime into the program, and one of our prospects said, you've been emailing me and calling me, and I'd basically been ignoring you for a year, and you sent me that Atari, and I immediately called you back.
Wow.
Which is the best kind of marketing you can look for.
Yeah.
Really great. Thank you guys so much for taking the
Thank you.
time to sit down with me.
Thank you, Courtney.
Thank you.
And if you would like to see more content, please go to marketingsherpa.com.